Hello students, I am Manisha Raj. I am from Amity University, Noida campus, and I am taking your paper Indian Economic Development since 1947. In this paper we have been dealing about the basic problems of Indian economy which have been a major source of hindrance for achieving higher growth and development. One very important problem was the lacunas in the planning process, and the other one was unemployment. Today we are going to start with a new problem that the Indian economy has been facing since the colonial era till date, and that is poverty, or we can say the vicious circle of poverty. Now for growth rates, it has been seen that Indian economy, as it is inflicted with high level of poverty, could not achieve very high growth rates on a equal basis. There has been huge regional and income inequality in India. So for that matter, overall the per capita income has been very less. Now when we talk about poverty, since the colonial era, when we were having almost 60 to 70% of people below the poverty line, till date there has been a declining trend, but this declining trend has not yielded very strong results. Because just after independence, that means since 1947 till I would say 2000 or 1991-92, until we started with the new liberalization process, poverty level was somewhere around 50%. In 1973, the estimates of poverty said that it was at 56%. Again in 1993, it reduced to 46%. And with time, say suppose in 2004-05, it has been estimated to be around 26%. And this poverty estimates have been given by NSSO, National Sample Survey Organization. Now these poverties estimation has been carried out in Indian economy by various organizations at the public and private level. The government organizations estimate poverty given the calorie ratios or the parameters that is being followed by World Bank and UNDP. So UNDP and World Bank, they actually frame the poverty criteria not only for Western economies, but also for developing countries or any other country which is a member of these institutions. So for that matter, if you want to define poverty, you can say that poverty means those people who do not earn bare minimum income to sustain a decent livelihood on a daily basis. And when the people are unable to earn the bare minimum required income level, they are termed as below poverty line or BPL people. In India, first the estimation of poverty line was done on the basis of calorie consumption. So for the rural areas, it was said that people who do not consume some 2400 calories per day are supposed to be below the poverty line, and in the same way for urban areas, it was said that people who do not consume more than 2200 calories per day are people below the poverty line. Now the question arises that why the rural people have to consume more calories in comparison to the urban people. The simple reason behind this fact is that in the rural area, life is more difficult. You do not have transportation facilities. You do not have, basic amenities of life like electricity, water, and so many things. For each and everything, people have to make extra effort to corner these kinds of facilities. So in that case, their calorie consumption is way greater in comparison to the urban areas. And if we talk about urban areas, because of the municipality, because of the government, or because of certain resources, these areas have the basic minimum amenities of life, either personally or on the social basis. So in that case, their calorie consumption declines. But with time, even World Bank has come up with ratios or facts which discuss about the poverty. So they have said that people who are living below $1 per day supposed to be called as below poverty line people. But since 2004-05, World Bank has reformed its definition of people living below poverty line by saying that the daily consumption or daily income of person should be around $1.25 per day. So people who do not earn $1.25 per day are called people who are living below the poverty line. According to the Planning Commission of India, they call it as the people who do not earn rupees 32 per day or who earn below rupees 32 per day are supposed to be below poverty line. Now, when we have defined poverty, when we have understood that this is poverty, we need to know that what is this vicious circle of poverty. This vicious circle of poverty simply means that as you are inflicted with poverty, or as more than 50% of the population is inflicted with poverty, they do not have better way of living, they do not have employment opportunities, and therefore they do not have the literacy, or they cannot provide literacy to their children, and their way of life, their standard of living is also low. Again, as the standard of living is low, they are supposed to have very less income, and they again continue to survive within this below poverty line regime. Now, in order to break this vicious circle of poverty, unemployment, illiteracy, and below standard living standard, there has to be some kind of input from the government, some injections from the government side, maybe in terms of higher employment opportunities, maybe in terms of direct impact of reduction of poverty by giving them cash or food, so that their daily requirements are being met. So this is basic idea about poverty, the definition of poverty and vicious circle of poverty. Now, apart from this, we also need to know the several causes of poverty. What are the different reasons because of which we see that poverty is so indebted or so engraved in Indian economy? There are many reasons for it. Specifically, there are 5 causes. The first reason for India having high level of poverty in India is the climatic reasons. What do you mean by climatic reason? In India, we have monsoon kind of season, or it is a tropical region. So here we have a very humid climate, and it is difficult to work very smartly or efficiently for longer hours. People get tired very easily. So this is one natural source, and apart from this, what happens that because of this humid climate, or because of the tropical region, we have very irregular monsoons, and being an agricultural economy, irregular monsoon affects our gross domestic production. So climatic factors in fact breed in poverty within the Indian economy. This was the one reason. Second reason is the demographic causes. Demographic causes basically means that India has a huge population and a huge dependent population. So for that matter, it is very difficult for people earning in the family to meet the basic requirements of life, or increase the standard of living for the entire family. Also, India has joint family concept. So for that matter, the responsibility on the breadwinner of the family is very large. He has to take care of the children, the females, the old age people, and the government setup is also not very strong to support these dependent population. So demographic causes talks about the huge expansion of poverty, and especially people living below poverty line are unable to get jobs, and they cannot, and they also follow a tradition of large family. That means they are not interested in having small families. They believe that large family size will contribute to the growth of the family by having more hands to work. Even the children are sent on the fields to work. So for that matter, they believe that the more the children you have, the more money you will have in the family. So these people tend to have larger size families, and which again breeds in poverty because they are illiterate, they do not get skilled jobs, and a number of reasons. The next is personal reasons. At times, Indian people have been found to be very lazy, or they do not have the right opportunities, and they are not very eager to get involved into different jobs, and at times homesickness is a factor. Maybe you get employment, but you do not get employment in your hometown or in the area near about you're residing. So for that matter, you have to move out of your local region to continue with job. So in that case, again, personal reasons lead to poverty. The next one is economic reasons. When you talk about economic reasons or economic causes that have increased poverty within the economy, then we need to say that because of this poverty, what is happening that people have low per capita income, they do not save, and when the savings of the economy is less, the government has less resources to pull in investments, and therefore again what happens that the government cannot provide basic social infrastructure or basic connectivity in the society, which again makes it difficult for the economic infrastructure or the 3 economic sectors of agriculture, industry and services to grow simultaneously. In that case, again poverty gets increased, or gets indebted into the economy. Now it is having a dent on the per capita income and way of life. But apart from this, poverty also reduces sufficient employment opportunities for the society. What happens that people who are very poor, or they do not have literacy, or they are not educated, so in that case they are basically looking for unskilled jobs. But with time we have seen that so much of change and mechanization is taking place in the economy that capital is replacing manual labor. So for that matter, you have to concentrate on the education and other social infrastructure so that economic changes take place positively within the economy. Now apart from this, the last factor that can be said to increase poverty is social changes. There is a social mindset that growth and development should be taking place from the government's end, and then only we can have jobs. But also there is a perception that public jobs are better than the private jobs. So in that case what happens that people keep on trying for different job opportunities in the government sector rather than grabbing or going on with the opportunities available in the private sector. So the social mindset, the social environment of the Indian economy also at times breeds poverty, because they are not ready to take chance, they are not ready to take risks. So these are the basic causes of poverty, and given these causes, the government has to work on them simultaneously along with the private sector so that wholesome growth takes place within the economy. Thank you.